Why, hello, and welcome to our show. It is Sunday, September 6th, 2020. Man, I can't believe we're already into September. That's kind of crazy, isn't it, Zach?
Already?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say already.
I don't know. I guess things have been different. You've been, like, locked inside, basically. Ish, sort of.
I've been going to work in person for months.
I guess you're right. I don't know. I'm ready for 2020 to be over, and for
me it's just you know, average life, except more masks, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys have a mask mandate there, don't you?
Should have one, but yeah, we do have one here.
We are still without one here, for better or for worse. I will not let my politics into the show, although I'm pretty sure you know where I stand.
I was thinking that there should be a mask order, like a political thing. It's a science thing. Science says that masks are effective, more effective than no masks. So,
well, that's there you go. That's what I think of our governor. I'm not going to make it...
I don't even know why it's a question. Who cares what you think? You know, the data says this, so the data is right, because the data doesn't care what you think.
Right.
Whatever.
Again, this is not a political show, so I'm not going to make it political, but there you go. That is what I think of our governor here in Iowa. So, again, not going to make it publicly known on the show because that's not what the show is about. But
you already have, but moving on.
No, I haven't.
You just did. You said you don't like. Okay, whatever.
I never said that. I said for better or for worse.
Okay. Oh, let's move on.
Yeah, I said for better or for worse, we don't have one here. But anyway. So, oh yeah, we were talking about this slightly before the beginning of the show, because I have too much stuff on my desk, apparently. I couldn't find what I was looking for, moving stuff around. And then I talked to Zach, and I was like, dude, I still can't believe that you've crammed all this stuff. You've got 3 monitors crammed onto a tiny little desk. Well, I guess they're mounted. And
that's why they're crammed, is because they take up about 1 square foot of desk. You know, the rest is all above desk.
Well, they would never fit if you actually had them physically on the desk.
You want to make a bet?
Did you have them that way?
For a long time, I sure did.
No, I thought it was 2. I didn't think it was 3.
For a long time, it was 3.
Oh, you know what? I think I remember this because, like, one or two of them were, like, hanging over the side.
Off the edge, yep. And I broke one that way.
Wait, what? I didn't realize you never told me you broke one.
I didn't. I did break one that way. I had my feet up on the desk and I like sat up and I guess it wobbled it just the right way and it went over the edge. And...
When was this?
I don't know. That was a couple of years ago, I think.
I
was pretty angry about it, but I don't know. I mean, it at least wasn't like, you know, a high-end, like, expensive monitor. It was like $100, which sucks to break.
Speaking of which, what happened to that one monitor you bought? Did you end up taking it back?
Oh, that 1440?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I did take it back. I couldn't justify keeping it because it was like, I don't know, it was like $300, and I was like, well, this $25 AC adapter fixed the monitor that I replaced it with, but that I replaced with this one, so I mean, I can't really justify keeping it now, can I? And not only that, but the wonky resolution scaling kind of just triggered me a little bit, you know? It was like weird.
So I wanted to
maybe got used to that.
I wanted to ask this because I'm toying with the idea, but probably honestly not. Oh, there's some cool stuff. I'm toying with the idea of just going to an ultra wide and ditching the second monitor.
I mean, how wide are we talking though? Like the size of 2 monitors?
Yeah,
Really?
probably. If I was going to do something, it'd have to be fairly decent. I don't know.
I don't think it's a very cost-effective thing to do. If that's your preference, I don't know. I guess the ultra wide versus multi-monitor thing, I mean, it seems to me like more of a preference thing than anything.
That's what I was wondering.
Some people
So,
like them for games and well, not anything but games, I guess, because I was going to say for like media, but not much media is that wide. But you can tell a game to be whatever resolution you want it to be.
That's true.
I don't know. Some people like them for games, I guess. I don't know. Some people like them just for having like you can get software that will basically tell Windows it's multiple monitors, and
exactly, that's what I would end up having to do.
So I guess games, productivity, I don't know, whatever. Personally though, the cost. I don't like the cost.
Okay, if cost wasn't a factor, though,
I can get two monitors that are separate for way cheaper. And if I decide I want to do something else with them, you bet I can. But you can't really do anything else with ultra wides. That's not a very good argument.
Okay, so if cost,
I think is
here's the thing.
Strong argument.
Here's what I was wondering: is if cost wasn't an issue, would you consider going to just one ultra wide, or do you prefer to have the multiple monitors?
Well, here's the thing. It would have to be a really, really wide monitor.
They make them.
I don't want anything less than 3. So it would have to be one of those, what are they, like 5760 by 1080 or something monitors.
I'm sure they make them. I
think they do, actually.
I wasn't sure.
But I don't know, maybe.
So I don't know. I'm used to my setup, so
I kind of like how my thing is right now. And here's the other issue is that probably wouldn't be as much actual screen, for that. If I got a monitor like that, it would not be there wouldn't be as much actual screen real estate there. There would be the same number of pixels, but not as much screen.
Yeah, but you get rid of all the bezels.
Also, okay, so that's fair. But here's the deal, right? The way that I have mine arranged right now, this monitor would have to have some ridiculous curve to it. Just like a very aggressive curve to it to match the profile that I have right now. And I like the profile that I have right now because if it was less aggressive of a curve, I suppose it would just be going way off the desk and just like all over. Just, I don't know. I don't think I would. I like how they are right now. If I was wanting to play games in ultra wide, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, it's maybe. If somebody gave me one, I wouldn't be sad, and I would happily use it probably. Or
what resolution did you say?
5760 by 1080. If anyone makes a monitor like that, it definitely isn't as big as I want it to be. Because as big as I want it to be would be a little unrealistic for one monitor. It would be like a TV, except very short and very wide.
No, here you go. LG makes one. It'd be
like a TV with some horrific proportions to it, and I don't know why anyone would want that.
It is kind of like a TV.
It just strikes me as a product that wouldn't sell very well. I don't know.
No, I bet you it does. LG's got one right there.
What? What is that? Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, it's a 5120 by 1440. Okay. Wait, so that looks to me, that's like two 1440p monitors stacked together, is it?
It might be.
I think it is. No. I want to go bigger. I want 3 1080p monitors stacked together. Okay.
It looks like it's maybe base mountable though.
It better be for that much money. Because let's not even talk about the fact that it cost $1,500.
Well, that was just the first one I picked.
I'm sure it's really nice, but need a new graphics card for that too, I'm sure. Although I'm planning to get one.
Samsung makes one too. It's a 49.
They do, given the volume of displays they make.
It's a 49-inch. Um. Oh, this one's 5120 by 1440.
That's the same as the LG one that you linked.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh,
That's
you're
like
looking for
two
you're looking
1440p
for
monitors.
you're looking for
stacked.
5760. That's what you're looking for.
5760 by 1080.
I don't know
That
if
would be.
I don't know if they make them.
Oh, I don't know either.
No, they don't make a 5760 by 1080 because everyone wants 4K.
I know.
What's wrong with
1080p?
Actually, you know what? Okay, so I was gonna say I was forced to, but I wasn't forced to, I guess. But I bought a new TV for my room here.
Okay.
It is a 40-inch Vizio 1080p panel.
Okay.
Now, some people may ask, well, why didn't you go 4K?
A lot of people hate on 1080p, but
I didn't need 4K. And the only reason, I actually didn't even want the 40-inch. I wanted a 32-inch. But you know what the problem with all the 32-inch ones were?
They all 720?
Yeah, they were all 720p.
Yuck.
And I wasn't about to go 720. Dude, even the little... I'm pretty sure this little TV that's behind me here, and the shot right now, that's got the logo on it, is 1080p.
I don't think very many manufacturers make 1440p TVs. It's either 1080p or 4K. You know, the only 1440p monitor displays are generally monitors, I think. I don't know, I've never seen.
What are you talking about?
1440p TV.
You mean 720p? No, what?
1440p.
Anyway, I didn't need 4K. I don't have anything that I can consume in 4K.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose maybe Netflix or like, I don't know if Hulu does. Actually, you might have to pay more for that. I can't remember. Anyway, so no, I don't really have anything that is consumable in 4K, so I didn't care. But I was not willing to compromise in 720p. That was not an option.
Or just about everything is 1080p at least.
Yeah, I was definitely not going to go. I was looking at one, and I picked it up, and I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. Ooh, 720p? Nope. I kind of looked at a second one. I was like, okay. No, 720.
All I can say is it is possible that I just haven't tried a monitor that's awesome enough for me to say I will never use 1080p, but I don't know. It's whatever.
That you won't use 1080p?
Yes.
I thought your monitors were 1080p.
No, they are. I'm saying that maybe I haven't tried a monitor awesome enough to make me stop using it.
Oh, I see what you... Okay. I was like, what? What? You're complaining about 1080p? You just asked for a...
Well, here's the other issue. Is that if I wanted to
monitor.
have a higher resolution, I would have to change all of my monitors, or else it would just bother me that they're all different.
That's why I'm saying if you got like an all-in-one, you just have that giant screen real estate all on one monitor.
Yeah, but for that price, I could buy 3 separate ones and save money.
Yeah, but you still have the bezels.
Bezels are small.
So, you know what? This is... I don't know why. I think it was a cost-saving thing, but it looks horrible. So...
Again, I would try one. I would try one if it equated to 3. I want no less than 3. If it equated to 3 monitors, like in Windows, if it looked like 3 monitors, and it...
You could set it up that way.
Well, yes, I know. I'm sure you could set up this one that way too, even though it's kind of like 2. But I want it to be big enough that, you know, it will feel like 3 monitors, you know, to use. I don't know.
You might get used to it.
I'm being picky, I know. If I were going to spend that much on a monitor, I think I have every right to be.
So, oh yeah, so the reason I had to get a new TV, so my old one developed this weird issue where, like, you would point the remote at it, and it wouldn't turn on with the remote, but once it was on, it would pick up all the signals from the remote. Which is really weird, or at least you could, like, I couldn't turn it on with the remote anymore.
My family had a TV, and still does, actually, I think. Although I'm not sure very many people watch it. that long time ago it started to have this issue. Gosh, I mean, it must have been like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I still have this TV. I can't even believe it. That it would, like, when you turn it on, it would just like click on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, and it would just do this for like a minute, 2 minutes, and then it would turn on.
Weird.
The weirdest thing. It would just sit there, click, 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 and then it would just finally decide, all right, I'm awake.
The other issue this TV was having was that you would be watching something and then the audio would just cut out, and I would unplug the Chromecast from the HDMI port, plug it back in, and then it would be fine. Very weird.
Okay. Very good.
So anyway, so that's why I just finally said, I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna buy a nice TV. So this time I went for the Vizio, because Vizio's a good brand, well respected, been around for a while. The last TV I had was an Insignia, which is Best Buy's like in-store brand. So
that means it's the cheap crap.
right up there with like Westinghouse and things like that. I've been told
I don't say very often, but I like to think that, you know, the first something that you buy, you know, the first whatever that thing may be, you know, maybe it can be a cheap piece of crap because you're not sure if you really care about it. But if you end up buying another one, make it a little nicer, you know, because clearly you cared enough about it.
Yeah, that's why I decided to go with the Vizio this time. I was either looking for a Vizio or a Samsung, and I knew they were good brands, and panels are relatively cheap these days, but anyway.
Oh, it's crazy how much cheaper they are.
You know what's funny? These AOC monitors that I have, they're not the greatest monitors in the world. Definitely not for gaming, although they say they are gaming monitors. They definitely are not. Not probably super color accurate.
Who cares what? Oh, it's a gamer monitor. It has 1 millisecond response time.
That's not why I bought them. Okay, I bought them because
you'd have to be like on crack to even see the difference. Ugh.
I bought them because they were cheap, and they have served me well.
I hate that gamer monitor crap. Ugh.
You have to admit though, G-Sync is pretty cool.
It is cool. It's nice.
I've never experienced it before, but I know the technology is cool.
I have a monitor that has that capability, and I don't really use it very much. Well, I don't turn it on very much. I don't know. I just don't.
So I know what I wanted to ask you, and then we need to get into topics for the week. But so we went off on a tangent, and so anyway, you were saying that you would like a bigger desk, but you don't have the space for one until you get an apartment.
Yes.
So now here's the thing: have you explored other options for ISPs in your area?
No, because it depends where you live, you know? That's like part of it, is what ISPs are available there.
You must have an idea of where you're going to look, or do you not?
Yeah, but every building is different.
Every building is different, but I think you can probably purchase any service that you might be able to. I don't know.
Yeah, but sometimes the buildings are wired for X or Y or whatever, you know?
That's why I kind of stopped, but I don't know. Do you consider some kind of broadband service? Or not broadband, like
broadband?
Like satellite service?
No, I don't.
What, even through like Verizon 5G or something like that?
No, I don't. That's not satellite either.
Or what is it?
That's cellular.
Or, yeah, I'm sorry, not satellite, cellular.
Satellite is awful.
Yeah, I know.
Grandpa had satellite.
Cellular, I'm sorry.
At his house, you get like a quarter megabit.
No,
awesome.
a cellular connection or something like that.
I wouldn't do cellular.
Really?
Those companies love data caps even more than cable companies do.
That could be true.
The only company I know to avoid like the plague is CenturyLink. Just no.
So
no. I don't care how good they will tell you it is. No. Do not CenturyLink. No. Just no.
I think
No.
our
Give
TV
CenturyLink the middle finger and don't look back.
our TV station has a direct link between our two studios.
Yeah, and I know because I've heard so many horror stories about CenturyLink. Just like, okay, so I've heard this from actually multiple coworkers. Just horror stories. It's awful how bad they are. That they will they will just not do things that they say they're going to do. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna get your modem. Weeks later, no modem. You know, hey, where's my modem? Oh yeah, we're sending it. We've made a mistake. We're sending it now. Okay, cool. No modem. Oh yeah, we made another mistake. We're sending it though, huh? No modem. You know, like that kind of crap. And
Can't you buy your own?
time.
Yeah, you can buy your own.
Sure, you can. I'm just saying, you know, do you still want to work with that company? No.
No.
Or how about, let's see, coworkers go on site for a, like, I don't know, whatever they're doing, like bringing this site online with CenturyLink because they just changed ISPs for this site. Okay, we need to get them like up and running. All right, well, CenturyLink is supposed to have a tech here, but nope, there's no tech. And oh yeah, the guys who are there, they drove like 8 hours to be there, and CenturyLink didn't send a tech when they promised they would.
You know what you need to do, Zach?
And they can't send a tech for like a week.
No, you know what you need to do, Zach? Find enough people that are fed up, and then set up a WISP.
I don't want to do that. I just want to. What do you mean? I go to work all day. I don't want to do more work just to have internet at home.
Yeah, but you know what? If you set up the WISP, then and you get some clients.
That's why I'm paying for that service. That's why you pay for the service. So someone else takes care of it for you.
Right, but if you do it, then somebody else is paying you for the service, and you get some money on the side.
But I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the work.
I mean, luckily I have decent internet in my area. Otherwise, I'd probably look at doing something like that.
Pretty sure that actually there are quite a few apartment complexes that have fiber. So around here, so that's pretty cool. You get that sweet gigabit.
Oh, you're going for gigabit?
I don't know. I haven't even on a place or even.
I think we have 100 up and 100 down.
In 2020, it's an interesting time, you know. We don't know what's going on. All I know is I freaking go to work and save money and keep going to work.
Holy
and,
crap!
Things eventually.
I'm running a speed test right now. Yeah, I've got 100 down. Pretty dang close to it. And what do I got for up? 100 down, 50 up. That's what our plan is. I know, I'm sorry.
I think I actually can get 100 down. If I had a
reliably
Ethernet cable long enough. If I had an Ethernet cable long enough, I would get 100 down.
Reliably?
Yeah, I don't know about that. May or may not work, depending on, you know, what way the wind blows or whatever.
Oh man! All right, moving into topics for this week. There's so we're gonna go back. Last week we talked about Epic and Apple. So Epic has filed a full argument why a court should force Apple to reinstate Fortnite. I have 30 pages in my hand right now. Of how many, but this is the legal filing right here. So Epic says Apple is a monopolist. It controls all app distribution on iOS. It controls all in-app payment processing for digital content on iOS. It unlawfully maintains these two monopolies by explicitly prohibiting any competitive entry in either market.
That is true. They do that.
On this motion, however, all Epic seeks is for the court to stop Apple from retaliating against... Go away, Bigsby.
I didn't understand that.
What a loser. Bixby is the biggest loser ever.
Samsung's almost as bad with Bixby as like Microsoft is with like shoving updates down your throat.
Oh, Samsung's a piece of crap too. Yeah.
Hey, they make good devices. All Epic seeks is for the court to stop Apple from retaliating against Epic for daring to challenge Apple's misconduct. On August 13, 2020, Epic ceased complying with one of Apple's anti-competitive rules. It offered players of its popular game Fortnite the option of lower prices on in-app purchases using a competitive payment processor. This was a necessary first step on the long road to freeing consumers and developers from Apple's decade-long monopolistic grip over app distribution and in-app payment processing on iOS. So this is interesting because I heard more about this. So yes, apparently Epic built in another way for users to have in-app purchases that cost less if they pick that option over using Apple's processing system.
Mm-hmm.
Which basically blew the door wide open on this, allowing Epic to basically say, hey, look, Apple's basically ripping you off.
Yeah.
Apple retaliated with ferocity. It removed Fortnite and terminated every one of Epic's Apple Developer Program accounts and cut off Epic's access even to software tools that are widely available to the public, because now they're saying that Unreal Engine might be at risk now. This was a clear warning to any other developer that would dare challenge Apple's monopolies, saying, follow our rules or we will cut you off. Challenge us and we will destroy your business. In short, accused of antitrust violations for misusing its power to create and maintain two monopolies, Apple used that same power to try to coerce Epic to abide by its unlawful restrictions. The court should not allow Apple to enforce these restrictions. So what do you think so far?
Well, I think the same thing I thought last week. I mean, technically speaking, by the letter of the rules, Apple is in the right to do that. But that, a simple, hang on a minute, common sense check says that Apple is being a little ridiculous.
Right. So, Epic says that they are ideally suited to challenge Apple's restriction, offering a competitive alternative to Apple's payment processing. Or Epic demonstrated that its readiness by offering a competitive alternative to Apple's payment processing, which would give choice to consumers. Epic respectfully requests that the court grant its motion for a preliminary injunction. Apple controls a software platform that gives it substantial market power over app developers, and also has designed a set of restrictions through which it acquired and maintains monopolies in two downstream markets where competition can and should thrive. So basically, this is riddled with language here of basically the monopolistic operation of the App Store and Apple's payment processing system. This is funny. Other successful operating systems like Microsoft's Windows or Apple's own Mac OS offer such a choice to consumers and developers.
Good for them.
But apparently on iOS, it's a different story. It says, just as they do when their apps sell physical goods to iOS users. Apple absolutely prohibits any competition in either market, and they are free to impose distribution and processing terms unchecked by competitive forces. Epic wants what Epic wants is the freedom not to use Apple's App Store or IAP. I'm gonna guess that's in-app purchases. Oh my gosh, Bigsby, go away!
You have that thing even turned on?
I didn't know you could turn it off. It's never usually an issue.
Maybe you can.
Apple has cleaved millions of users from their friends and family in the Fortnite community. And get this. So the user outcry has been deafening, showing real harm to the public interest. Daily active users on iOS have declined by over, any guesses?
I don't know, but probably quite a lot.
Give me a number. Shoot me a number.
30%.
Double it.
60%.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's crazy.
And so that's another argument that Epic is making, is that this is causing harm to its users, basically. They say Fortnite is more than just a game. It is an intensely social community whose value to its users depends in large part on the ability to connect with other users.
Oh, that's funny.
Epic has built a community that people rely on.
What will I do? I can't play Fortnite.
Hey, you know what? Well, you know what? It is a very social game.
Sure.
And especially in today's times.
I'm just saying that the language they use to describe it is a little bit ridiculous.
That's probably true, but they're trying to make an argument here. And look,
yeah,
let's be honest. With everything going on in the world right now, it probably is a decent way for especially younger people, which is the target demographic, for them to connect with their friends right now.
I'm sure it is.
They also say, and then there is Unreal Engine. Apple has attacked Unreal Engine, Epic's three-dimensional environment engine, on which millions of third-party developers rely in fields from gaming to medicine. Really? I didn't know that. From movie production to space flight, as well as other parts of Epic's non-Fortnite business. If Apple can cut off Epic's ability to continue updating Unreal Engine for iOS and macOS, both Epic and the millions of developers using Unreal Engine would be harmed. Let's see here. Yeah, so Unreal Engine. Aside from Fortnite, Epic has other lines of business, including the Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is a software tool for developing digital three-dimensional environments for multiple uses. Unreal Engine users enjoy free access to products and services developed by Epic affiliates, including Pixel Megascans, an online scan library of photorealistic three-dimensional content, and Twinmotion architectural visualization tools. Okay. Let's see. At a market cap of over $2 trillion, Apple is the most highly valued publicly traded corporation in history. Apple's empire is vast and extends to personal computers, smartphones, and tablets, music sales and streaming, wearable devices, digital messaging, digital storage, web browsing, creative and productive software, credit cards, television programming, and more. Apple controls iOS, one of the world's most widely used operating systems, used solely by mobile devices that Apple sells. And iOS is stuff. So basically, this is just their arguments of what some of the stuff is. Let's see. Epic's challenge to Apple's monopolistic conduct. So Fortnite launched on iOS in April 2018 and remained available until it was removed by Apple on August 13, 2020. Throughout that period, due to Apple's control of iOS, Epic was forced to comply with Apple's anti-competitive restrictions. Thus, Fortnite was distributed on iOS only through the App Store, and in-app purchases made within Fortnite were processed only using IAP. On June 30th, 2020, Epic's founder and CEO Tim Sweeney reached out to Apple asking that Apple allow competing app stores and competing payment processing on iOS. Mr. Sweeney explained his desire to make software sales and distribution on the iOS platform as open and competitive as it is on personal computers. He asked that Apple make these options equally available to all iOS developers. On July 10th, 2020, an Apple lawyer responded with an unequivocal no. On the morning of August 13, 2020, the Fortnite iOS app began offering users the choice of making in-app purchases using either Epic Direct Payment or Apple's IAP. Because Epic's direct payment does not bear the 30% app tax, oh my gosh, I love that, that's even in here, imposed by IAP, Epic offered reduced pricing to users that chose Epic Direct Payment. Then we get into Apple's retaliation, saying within hours, Apple removed Fortnite from the App Store and posted a notice to Epic developers' programming accounts explaining Apple's purported reason for removal. Later that day, Epic filed its complaint challenging Apple's anti-competitive actions. Apple then intensified its retaliation through a second notice. Oh, I didn't know that. In the second notice, Apple stated it would terminate Epic's membership in Apple's developer program and take certain other steps unless Epic complied with its demands, including by providing a version of Fortnite that used only IAP. Specifically, Apple stated that Epic would no longer be allowed to submit apps to the App Store. As a result of Apple's removal of Fortnite from the App Store, no new users can download the app on iOS. You're right, by the way, there was some kind of like falling out with like the Google Play Store as well, too.
Yeah, I know, because I checked last week, remember?
This says Epic is highly likely to succeed on the merit of its antitrust claims. As alleged in Epic's complaint, Apple... So anyway, yeah. Basically, those are kind of the claims that Epic is making here. Epic is trying to play the, I don't know, this could work out as a good publicity stunt for them.
Well, I'm sure it is.
Especially against the little guys. I mean, it would be awesome to watch Apple just...
But make no mistake, they aren't the good guys they claim to be. They're just another evil company.
They're right, though. They are probably in one of the best positions to challenge this, though.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see. So shortly before midnight on Friday, before Labor Day weekend, Epic Games pushed the button on its next legal action against Apple's ban on immensely popular Fortnite. There was no question that Epic would file for a preliminary injunction against Apple in an attempt to force the iPhone maker to bring Fortnite back to the App Store. Hearings were already scheduled for September 28th, but now you can read the company's full argument, which we read some of it. You may remember that Judge Rogers was already unwilling to issue a temporary restraining order against Apple to protect Epic's games, partly because Epic hadn't proven it had actually been harmed, and partly because the judge felt that Epic strategically chose to breach its argument with Apple, and so was at least partially to blame. Well, that's true. But in the new filings, Epic argues that more than its reputation has been harmed, daily active users on iOS have decreased by over 60% since Fortnite's removal from the App Store. Epic claims. So those are measured through September 2nd. By that point, Epic had effectively split into two different games. Epic says iOS is the biggest platform for Fortnite too. 116 million registered users, or nearly a third of the 350 million registered users Epic says Fortnite has attracted in total. Dang. And this is what is interesting here, is this really a smart move on Apple's part here? Think of all those users now and Epic is taking all of their users and using them to hopefully push back on Apple. How that'll work out, I don't know, but what I would love to see.
I'm surprised they didn't just well, maybe had they chosen to be a little less aggressive, they could have done something like this. But like, let's say, okay, we'll comply, and then we put a little notice in every in-app purchase that says to everyone who purchases it, oh yeah, this is 30% more expensive because of Apple. They can't do that?
Facebook tried to do this.
Really?
Facebook tried to do this with some kind of like for what was it? For like donation streams or stuff like that. They put a little notice that was like, hey, by the way, Apple takes 30% of the cut here. And Apple got pissed at them. So it's funny. Apple wants to be...
It's funny because, yeah, I mean, Apple knows it's true. And
you know, so it's funny. Like, Apple wants to be the bad guy here, but they don't want to admit that they're being the bad guy here. It's funny when you call them out, they're like, we don't like that.
Yeah. Really? Shocked. You don't like that, Apple.
It's like, if you're going to be the bad guy, just be the bad guy. And admit that you're being the bad guy.
I'm surprised they didn't just, like, spout some corporate dribble about, we take the 30% to provide the services that you love, or whatever. We need that money to provide the services that you love.
You know, so here's the other thing. Epic is also claiming that 63% of
Do
Fortnite...
CEOs sound like that?
I don't actually know. But no, Epic is also claiming that 63% of Fortnite users on iOS access Fortnite only on iOS. And that that is the only way for many people to play the game. That's probably true. What I would love to see is an uprise of people just saying, screw this, we're over Apple's devices. It's not going to happen, but it'd be hilarious. I don't know. I'm waiting for something. I don't know. Apple is apparently the company that just apparently can do no wrong, though. But I'm waiting for them to screw up so badly that there's a giant boycott on them. Like, I feel like that is the only thing that'll actually get through to Apple, is when it starts affecting their bottom line. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but you have to admit, I think that is I don't know what you think, but I think that is the only thing that is ever going to clearly get through to Apple and cause any real change.
Oh, of course. They'll do whatever makes them money.
Right. What I dislike is this culture of, oh, we're Apple and we know what's best for our users, and users just accept it.
They do, though.
I don't get it. I don't get what it is about Apple that, I don't know, Apple has built this culture there, or again, they just can't do anything wrong. And it's a great business model. If you can, well, okay, maybe not a great business model, because obviously look where it's gotten them. But
to $2 trillion, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, but all this controversy that's happening right now, like,
and who cares?
That's true. They're making money, so yeah. So Epic says it's worried that they may never see these users again, referring to the 60% decline, that its Fortnite community of players has been torn apart, and that some of its non-Fortnite customers have also been collateral damage. As The Verge reported last week, some of Epic's other games are no longer available to re-download, and Epic says that, its Shadow Complex Remastered has been removed from the Mac App Store too after Apple terminated Epic's developer account. Look, I don't think Epic is fully not to blame here because they knowingly breached the terms of service.
Of course they did. They
Does that get them into trouble?
They threw down the gauntlet, basically. They were like, all right, Apple, let's tango.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happens here. I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah. Sure, I mean, we're not. You're right. We are not.
Now, Epic is also claiming that Apple is threatening to deny any attempt to apply for a new developer account for at least a year, quoting a communication from Apple itself. And it's arguing that the harm would be endured by being denied the opportunity to access even a single new user among the 1 billion plus iOS users for at least the next year. It's harm worth creating a preliminary injunction for. Yeah. Let's see. Apple referred to it as, okay. Here's what Apple says. We are disappointed, as we said last week, that we had to terminate the Epic Games account on the App Store.
Oh, we're so sorry we had to do it, though.
Oh.
We had no choice.
We have
Is that
worked.
what CEOs sound like now?
No, that's what PR people sound like.
Executives, whatever, I don't know.
No, that's what PR people sound like. We have worked with
PR drones.
We have worked with the team
people,
at Epic Games
drones.
For many years on their launches and releases. The court recommended that Epic comply with the App Store guidelines while their case moves forward. Guidelines they've followed for the past decade until they created this situation. Epic has refused. Instead, they repeatedly submitted Fortnite updates designed to violate the guidelines of the App Store. This is not fair to all other developers on the App Store and is putting consumers in the middle of their fight. We hope that we can work together again in the future, but unfortunately, that is not possible today.
We hope that we could work together in the future.
And again, I don't know, but I thought I heard something about how apparently, like, there are specific apps, like Amazon or something like that, that do not have to comply with the 30% cut. I could be wrong on that.
I have no idea.
I could be wrong on that. But if that's the case, then this whole thing right here, let's see, violate the guideline. Like, you can't just give special treatment to specific apps because you want to.
Well, they can, and they do.
Then how do you enforce your policies? You don't. That creates a hole there.
Selectively enforce them because that's what they want to do.
But that creates a hole. That is not equality.
Oh, it's not, and they don't care.
Yeah, I know they don't care. That's why we're in this situation right now. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. What I would love to see happen is for Apple to get their rear end sued and this be a giant win for the little guy.
Epic's not a little guy, though.
No, but Epic is...
However, that being said, I could definitely see Epic pushing for certain changes that would favor little guys.
And that's what they're doing.
Just want to stick it to Apple.
That's what they're doing. And that's what I'm saying. It would be a major win for the little guy.
It would be. However, that's not the intent. That's just a happy side effect.
Yeah, a happy
Which
side
is
effect.
fine, but let's just not pretend that they're on the little side of the little guy.
No, but they're definitely going to use that argument in their legal proceedings.
Of course they will. In this case, their interests align. They will use that argument, and it may or may not be effective.
So, moving on. The FBI is worried that Ring and other doorbell cameras could tip owners off to police searches.
Okay. And?
Now, hold on!
What's the problem with that, though? You don't think they have a right to know? Oh,
so, true or false, you can... True or false, Zach?
This just in, the FBI is worried that Ring and other doorbell cameras might do their jobs.
Well, it's giving a tip off to these criminals. But true or false, you can decline a search by the police.
In some circumstances, I think you can.
Yeah,
Obviously, in others, you don't get that.
Unless they have like a search warrant.
If there is a warrant from a judge, I think, then they get to do whatever they want.
I think so. Or, well, within reason.
Probable cause to find a crime, I don't know, whatever.
But in any just general circumstance, if you were stopped on the street...
If a police officer just walks up to you and says, "Can I see what's in your pockets?" you can say no.
Well, you can't just say no.
As long as he doesn't have a reason to think that there's illegal things in your pockets.
No, it has to be without a reasonable doubt.
Okay, that's where unless he thinks there's illegal things in your pockets, Like he has reason to believe that there is.
But he has to, yeah,
like,
but it has to be without a reasonable.
And say.
But it has to be without a reasonable doubt.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know.
You can't just say no, though. The language that you use is very important. I do not consent to searches.
Of course.
And if you say that and they don't have a warrant, they got to come back with a warrant. So
that's probably true.
The Federal Bureau of Investigation documents warn that owners of Amazon's Ring and similar video doorbells can use the systems, which collect video footage sometimes used to investigate crimes, in order to watch police instead. Yeah, well, that's kind of their... That's what kind of their... supposed
to do.
That's kind of the point behind them. The Intercept spotted the files in the Blue Leaks data trove aggregated from law enforcement agencies. One 2019 analyst described numerous ways police and the FBI could use Ring surveillance footage, but it also cites new challenges involving sensor.
So basically, they want to like use these things to spy on people, but they don't want people doing the same thing to them.
I was just gonna say that.
Wait, they're gonna spy on us too? What? We can't have that.
Described numerous ways police and FBI could use Ring surveillance footage, but also cited new challenges involving sensor and camera-equipped home delivery, smart home devices. Specifically, they could offer an early warning when officers are approaching a house to search it, give away officer location in a standoff, or let the owner capture pictures of law enforcement presenting a risk to their present and future safety. Hold on! There are riots happening right now because of police brutality and other things happening in this country. One would argue that there needs to be more surveillance of law enforcement officers. It seems to
me like, you know how, I mean, we have all these wonderful things like the Patriot Act and other such laws that allow, them to snoop on people. But, of course, the people that sign those things into law, they're exempt. If I remember correctly, all of those people are exempt from being spied on. So, I can just picture them just, in their big fancy buildings with their fancy suits on and looking over the laws and being like, oh yeah, we're going to spy on people. Wait. They might spy on us too? What? No, we can't have that.
Oh, I love this. These are partly hypocritical.
We can use doorbell cameras to spy on people. Oh, that's a good idea. Write that down.
I love this.
But they might spy on us too. No, we can't have that.
I love this.
Oh.
The next line of this says, these are partly hypocritical concerns. Yes, the standoff issue, for instance, was noted in a report about motion-activated panoramic cameras, but the FBI points to a 2017 incident where agents approached the home of someone with a video doorbell seeking to search the premise. The resident wasn't home, but saw them approach by watching a remote video feed. No, really?
What? Okay.
They then preemptively contacted their neighbor and landlord about the FBI's approach. He may also have been able to covertly monitor law enforcement activity with the camera.
Okay.
This isn't necessarily more information than a security camera would capture.
If they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, I don't see the problem.
Wait, hold on. How is this any different from having security cameras on your house?
I don't think it is.
You could do literally the same thing with security cameras.
I mean, you could probably hide them, and I'm sure unless they were looking, they wouldn't even know.
Right? Doorbells like Ring or Google Nest Hello are pitched as more mainstream devices, and they've also created controversy around police use of the footage. At one point, Ring offered law enforcement a heat map that showed the concentration of cameras in an area, and it's reportedly partnered with hundreds of law enforcement agencies and helped them encourage users to hand over footage. Critics argue this compromises the privacy excuse me, of people whose neighbors install the doorbells, and ironically, it looks like law enforcement have some similar concerns, although the FBI still offered more positive assessment than negative ones. Again, yeah, it's very hypocritical that the police and law enforcement are like, We want to use the footage from these cameras.
We want to spy on you, but we don't want you to spy on us.
It's yeah. Well, I don't know if I would necessarily call it spying, but
yeah, close enough.
I don't know. Yeah, that's man. Hypocritical. So, anyway. And time for our Microsoft news this week. Windows 10 is getting a new touch keyboard with GIFs, emojis, and better voice typing, because apparently we need this. So Microsoft is planning to release some significant changes to its built-in touch keyboard for Windows 10. The updated touch keyboard design builds on the company's work with Windows 10X, bringing new key press animations, sounds, and all the all-important ability to search for and insert animated GIFs. GIFs or GIFs?
GIFs.
GIFs? How you say it?
I say GIFs. That's how I say it. Bite me. Doesn't even matter.
Microsoft called this the Wonder Bar for Windows 10X, and the new design in Windows 10 also includes better layouts that are organized for typing and the ability to move the cursor in through the space bar on the touch keyboard. Okay, I guess. This is very similar to how iOS lets you operate the cursor by placing a finger on the space bar and sliding left, right, up, or down to navigate around. I didn't know you could do that. Okay, cool. Awesome. I kind of over all this. Yeah, because apparently this is what we need now. So, whoop-de-doo. Let's move on. T-Mobile details its plan to give free internet to 10 million students at home. Because
what's the catch?
T-Mobile can... well, you want to know what the catch is?
What's the catch?
Nobody's going to be able to use it because T-Mobile's network sucks.
Okay. I mean, that's fair, I guess.
T-Mobile, because you didn't want to make that phone call, did you? I think T-Mobile's network has actually gotten better, but...
Probably depends where you live. Well, they just bought Sprint, so, you know, if two crappy networks come together, does it make a better network?
Or does it just make a bigger, crappier network?
I don't know.
Do two negatives make a positive?
Well, they do. In math terms, they do.
How does that work out in the telecommunication world? Anyway, last year, T-Mobile announced its plan to provide 10 million low-income households free broadband internet to close what then CEO John Legere, I really got to stop trying to pronounce people's names on the show, called the homework gap, pitching it as one of the reasons that the company should be allowed to merge with Sprint. Oh.
Whatever.
Okay. The company has now revealed that it has allocated $10.7 billion for that Project 10 Million program over the next decade, with the goal of making it available to K through 12 students who participate in the National School Lunch Program for low-income families. Even before the pandemic, more than 9 million of America's 56 million school-age kids did not have access to reliable internet. Yeah, and apparently T-Mobile is the company to fix that.
T-Mobile is not a charity; they're an evil corporation. What are they getting for this?
No, here's what I love: reliable internet. Yeah, and T-Mobile is the company to do that.
There you go.
And could not complete after-school assignments, the company said in a news release, suggesting that existing gap leaves many kids at risk of falling behind in school. With so many students learning remotely due to the coronavirus pandemic, the need for home internet may be even more important than it was last year. School administrators can apply for the program by providing zip codes for their students in the school lunch program, and parents can also volunteer their schools. The schools then distribute the hotspots and devices, with T-Mobile providing assistance for setup and technical support. Households can get a free hotspot and 100 gigabytes of data over a single 100 gigabytes over a single year? There you go. There's your catch, Zach. There's your catch.
Gigabytes. I was actually just about to say that. What? So they get to download like, how many? I bet they get like, what, 500 megabytes? You know, if T-Mobile's feeling really generous, that is.
So
no,
that is
super generous. 100 gigabytes. Oof.
That's a little over 8 gigabytes a month.
What?
Well, okay, so you take 100 gigabytes, right?
Wait, that's 100 gigabytes over how long?
Divided by over a single year, so 12.
Oh, what? Oh, God, that's horrible.
So that is 8 gigabytes, a little over 8 gigabytes that you get to use every month. There's your catch, Zach. There's your catch. Or get this. Okay. Or they can pay $12 monthly for 100 gigabytes of data each month. That's $144 for a year. Which, I mean, to be fair, is probably cheaper than...
Whatever. Man.
I looked at that. 100 gigabytes of data for a single year.
Really? 100 gigabytes? Not entire year?
And here's the thing. That data limit may not meet all the needs of students using Zoom, YouTube, and loads of other video streaming platforms for their online classes and entertainment.
It won't even be close, I bet.
And T-Mobile is still limiting those video streams to a low resolution of 480p. There'll be a limited number of hotspots available too, with T-Mobile allocating more each year. Allocating, yeah, you know what I meant. In addition, the fine print says that the free plan will end after 100 gigabytes or 365 days, whichever comes first, suggesting that students' internet may get abruptly shut off. That's different than a typical unlimited cellular plan, where you have some low level of internet access even after you hit a data cap. Still, this is definitely better than having kids sit outside fast food restaurants to access Wi-Fi hotspots just so they can do their homework. Yeah, until you run out of data.
And you're going to do so very quickly.
Especially with things like Zoom right now.
You're going to run out really fast.
All right, T-Mobile. So, good try, but... No.
But we didn't really expect anything from you.
I wasn't expecting it to be that bad, though. I don't know. Maybe I have more faith in T-Mobile than I should have given them. But... I don't know. So, Zach, Nvidia announces the new RTX 3080 GPU. Priced at... Have you heard pricing yet?
Of course I have. I watched the launch event.
So, what is the pricing?
$799.
$699.
$699, sorry. You're right.
And
I haven't watched closely enough.
And launching September 17th.
Said that on autopilot.
Nvidia, so you probably know more about this. So is this what you're looking at?
I'm not looking at anything right now.
No, I'm saying, but you're looking at upgrading your graphics.
To buy one? Yeah, I probably will buy one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my 980 Ti is probably not going to last that much longer. So I think it will last enough time, but
Nvidia is unveiling its new GeForce RTX 3000 series graphics cards. Nvidia has been teasing these new cards for weeks, and there have been plenty of leaks before the RTX 3080 was made official. Based on Nvidia's new Ampere architecture, the RTX 3080 is designed to succeed... What is it?
Ampere.
Ampere? Okay. Is designed to succeed the RTX 2080 and 2080 Ti cards with improved performance and ray tracing support. Do you care about the ray tracing?
It's not really that much of a thing right now anyway.
Nvidia is promising big performance with the RTX 3080. I love when events... I love this in event launches, we're promising big performance upgrades. Well, no crap.
Fortunately, the cards are at least supposedly, very fast even in non-RT workloads. So it's fine.
What I'm saying is, though, I love when they include that in these launch events. We're building a better product.
It's way faster. Oh,
we're building really? Really?
Oh, okay.
I would hope
for a second,
so.
I thought maybe it was worse.
Like, is it even needed? No crap, it's gonna be better. I would hope it is. Unless it's Vega. Sorry, AMD.
Well, AMD is supposedly launching, something this November, but they've been really tight-lipped about it.
So Nvidia is promising big performance with the RTX 3080, up to 2 times that of the RTX 2080, and faster than Nvidia's RTX 2080 Ti cards. Zach, you might want to wait a little bit after launch, though, to see if these light any systems on fire.
I actually have a plan for launch. I will buy one right away. I will go to Micro Center and I will get one, but I won't open the box till I know it's good.
Okay.
Because the availability is not going to be good. I'm going to probably have to camp the website and try to order one as soon as they're becoming available and hope that I'm fast enough, I guess. But yeah, I don't know how that will go. I've never bought a graphics card at launch, but I need one.
The card will ship with 10 gigabytes of GDDRX, or GDDR6X, memory, which will be priced at $699 when it ships on September 17th. Nvidia is using 8,704 CUDA cores on the RTX 3080, combined with
true. The number's half that. They doubled the number because apparently it can do two. It does 2 instructions of something per clock. I don't remember. There's a technical detail there that I forget. But the double the number is a marketing thing.
It'll be combined with a 1.71 gigahertz boost clock. That seems really low, but is that high for a graphics card?
Because the clock means nothing. That's just what the stock reference cards will do, right? But if you buy a card from any of the partners, it's going to be different. All tune them differently.
Does clock speed, does overclocking your graphics card make any difference?
Yes, of course it does.
More performance out of it?
You're doing more operations in the same period of time. Of course it's making a difference.
Okay.
1.7 isn't, it's nothing, it's not low. Nothing to write.
What is that for a processor? That would be low, though.
For a CPU, yes, that would be very, very slow.
What? So I guess what is low for a graphics card then?
Well, let's see how fast my graphics card is going right now.
And yours is not overclocked, or is it? Your system isn't overclocked, is it? Oh, I don't know what just happened to Zach. Did we lose Zach? Did we lose you?
Oh, I've been hello.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
There you are.
My current GPU clock 1316 megahertz right now. That is 1.3 gigahertz.
Your system is not overclocked, is it?
No.
Your old system was, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Just on the CPU, I had 4.5 gigahertz on my 4790K at pretty low voltage. It was pretty nice. That was a good 4790K.
What was the highest you ever got it up to?
4.8.
That's not horrible.
I had to dump on the volts to get there, though.
You'll have to hold on. We'll ask about that in a second. At the heart of this new GPU is an updated thermal design. Nvidia has created a new pennant-shaped board for its RTX 3080, combined with new cooling shroud. The new cooling solution is designed to improve airflow and overcome some of the constraints of the cooling solutions that exist on the RTX 2080 today. It includes dual fan setup that is designed to improve airflow by more than 55%, with promises of much quieter and more efficient cooling.
Again, citation and testing needed.
Wait, but
Because you never trust Nvidia's numbers.
is that gonna be the same across all manufacturers though, or is each manufacturer gonna do something slightly different?
That is only Nvidia's cooler. If you buy a reference card, they call them Founders Edition now. You buy one of those, that's the cooler you get. And those are the clocks you get as well. If you buy a card from, one of the board partners, like, EVGA or Asus or Gigabyte or whoever, you're going to get something different. You're going to get whatever cooler they put on it, and you're going to get whatever clocks they tune it to. There's also a rumor that is not confirmed by Nvidia that add-in board partners will be launching a 20 gigabyte version of the 20 or 3080, as well as a 16 gigabyte of the 3070.
Yikes!
Whether that's true, who knows? But yeah, a lot of people are saying that they are not happy with the amount of VRAM in these cards, and I admit it is kind of curious how, for example, like the 3070 has 8 gigabytes. That's
8 gigabytes, that's priced at the $499 price.
It's the same, I think, as the 2070, isn't it?
I have no idea. Well, let's see. So alongside the RTX 3080, Nvidia is launching the cheaper RTX 3070, which will be priced at $499 in October. They say that this will be a more capable card than the prior RTX 2080 at a lot less cost. The performance bump will also put the RTX 3070 comfortably above the 1080 Ti and 1080 cards for 1440p gaming.
Indeed, the 2070 is indeed an 80 gigabyte card as well. So you're getting the same amount of memory as last gen. However, in terms of like shader performance, the 3070 is said to approach the 2080 Ti's level of performance.
What was launch price of the 2080 though? Or not the 2080, the 2070, I guess.
I believe the launch prices were the same for both.
This RTX 3070 card will also use a similar cooling solution to the RTX 3080, with NVIDIA's promise of improved thermals and a quieter operation. NVIDIA's RTX 3070 will be available at some point in October, priced at $499. NVIDIA is using 5,888 CUDA cores on the RTX 3080. Is that doubled again?
They're all doubled.
Combined with a 1.71 gigahertz boost clock and 8 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. So let me guess, the GDDR6X memory is like the next generation?
The fastest graphics card memory that is around right now.
So it's the next generation, basically.
Yes. The 2070 and the 3070 both use GDDR6.
Okay, Zach, let's have a quick crash course in overclocking, because I've heard different terms.
I'm really not an expert on overclocking at all.
Well, you can explain the core concepts to me. Okay, so what the theory obviously of overclocking is to gain more performance out of your either your graphics card or your CPU.
So in order to maintain a certain clock, your piece of silicon needs to be fed power, right? And this the amount of power that you're putting through it, well, gosh, I forget the relationship between volts and amps, but generally speaking, when you're tuning for overclocks, you're adjusting the voltage that you're feeding your piece of silicon, right? When you're talking about graphics cards, sometimes you want to turn off or adjust the power limit settings again as well to feed it more power. But to boil it down, you're trying to achieve a balance between the amount of voltage you're giving your CPU or whatever and the amount of clocks that you're getting out of it, right? So like, okay, let's say let's say you're at some stock settings, right? And you want to go up like, 500 megahertz on your CPU, right? So you adjust it and you reboot, and then, oh, look, I crashed because, I wasn't putting enough voltage into it. It wasn't stable. So you need to feed it more voltage. But do you know what feeding it more voltage does? It makes it warmer, and it can reduce the lifetime of the part, but not necessarily. So there's kind of I guess like a
That's what I never understood. I've always heard
3 points of data that you need to balance.
That's
right?
what I never.
Thermals, your voltage, and your clocks. You want to find the balance. There are so many more things that go into it. So many more.
That's not what
But
I
if you
never.
just want to get
yeah.
a little more out of your CPU or whatever, that's kind of all you need to know. If
See,
you really
the
wanna go
voltage
insane,
part,
you need
that
to
was the
know.
part that I never
And I don't know.
understood. That was the part that I never understood. Was I always heard voltage, but I wasn't quite
Voltage
sure.
equals heat. You give your CPU more voltage, it's going to get hotter. And if you give it too much voltage, it might just die. They won't like that at all. But
So you can get
but yeah,
you can get
the
a crash.
more voltage you give
So-
it, the faster it can go and remain stable.
I would imagine you give it too much voltage, you'll get a crash. You give it too little voltage, you'll get a crash.
Too much, unless you go unless you reach an extreme, probably not.
That's that's probably you're probably right.
You're probably going to be although at a point you are going to reduce the lifetime of the part. That's not good. And if you're talking about overclocking a graphics card, it can also help to unlock, like, a lot of, at least on the Nvidia side of things, a lot of them have like a power limit setting that you will have to unlock in order to allow the card to slurp more watts from the power supply. Additionally, speaking of, the new RTX cards have a new power connector because apparently they're quite power hungry, and they are very power hungry. They are very power hungry. The 3080 is what, 320 watts? I mean, that's a lot. That's like twice the wattage of a 1080 for reference. I don't know what the wattage of a 2080 was, but they are pretty power hungry.
Interesting.
And I've read some materials that suggested the power hungriness comes, a lot of it, from the memory. The GDDR6X sucks a lot of watts, supposedly, and the 3090 has 24 gigs of that stuff. So yeah, it's got a lot of watts going through it. And also the process that the lithography process used to make them is Samsung, which is, well, they were made by Samsung, which is a little bit less favorable on the power side of things than the traditional TSMC. So yeah.
All right, hold on.
Kind of a ramble there, but yeah.
In other quick news here, this is like super not important, but let's see here. Let me go find this real quick here. There we go. Cool. Apparently Intel is going to be debuting a new logo alongside its 11th gen chips.
Whatever.
They're redoing their branding. So,
maybe they should have saved it for when they made a good part. A good generation of parts, I should say. I mean, of course there are, decent parts here and there, but I want to see like a knock your socks off generation of parts to really come back.
Let's hang on. I want to see this real quick here. There's a video here. Hold on. interesting. Is this like really a video like showing them their new logo? Yeah, it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is all like marketing stuff. Oh.
It is.
Ooh. Ooh, that was horrible. They updated the classic Intel bong. Oh man, at the end there it was like done with like a trumpet. That sounded horrible. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Dang. Hold on. Let me copy link address. Just check out like the very, very last portion of that. Tell me what you think of the new bong. Let's see here. It sounds horrible. I hope that's not what they're going with. I really hope that's not what they're going with. Hold on. Let me find that again here. Did you hear it?
It sounds stupid, yeah.
Hang on. Dun, 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 dun. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. That sounded horrible. Oh man. Okay. I mean, it is a more modern look, but Intel has just announced its new 11th gen processors. Okay. And alongside the launch, the company is also rolling out its new minimalistic logo. Look, what else does Intel have right now, Zach?
What?
I said, what else does Intel have right now?
I don't know.
Right? Exactly. It's the third company it's the third logo the company's ever used. The fresh design replaces the previous branding with the Intel word mark enclosed in a circle that has been used by the company in various forms since 2006. The new logo will also accompany a brand new refresh from Intel with a more minimalistic design for everything from Intel Xeon servers to its Optane memory chips. Let's see here. Yeah, there's the classic Intel sound there. They're keeping that iconic 5-note jingle. Although it promises that it'll have a modernized version that to match the logo later this year. Okay, so maybe that's just that might not actually be the official one there in that video. But that one sounded horrible, you have to admit, right, Zach?
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, there you go. Intel, new logo on the way. Yeah, all right, that's all I got for this week. I don't have anything else. So, thanks for joining us. If you like the show, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Get subscribed if you haven't done that already. Turn on the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. And we shall see you next